What's up, guys? For today's video, you are going to see my full leg workout from this weekend. I think it's the full workout for the most part. And I just figured I would use this opportunity to do my check-in with you guys for the week, to review how it went, how my progress was. So just a heads up, I'm not really going to be speaking towards what you're seeing in the video. So if you do have questions about the workout, let me know below. But I just wanted to do a weekly update and tell you guys how it's been going. So it's been 1 week since I kind of officially started this series and officially started being more on top of my goals and actually establishing specific goals and what I aim to achieve. And this past week was more so my main goal was getting back to consistency. So I had set my macros as discussed in a previous video and followed them for the week. So in terms of following macros, it went really well. I was actually prepared for work like every day of the work week, which is not typical of me. So just implementing consistency really helped with just being more mindful of making sure I was going to work with enough food packed and planning with good nutritious foods and not just kind of flying by the seat of my pants with what I was going to eat. So out of all of last week, I was fairly close to my macros. I was struggling some days to hit carbs, and then I had one day where I actually went over carbs by like 30. So I'm just really not used to being consistent, you guys, in terms of nutrition. Like some days I'm hungry, some days I'm not. And it's good to listen to your body, but I think this will be a really good test for me, just forcing myself to be consistent. So some days if I'm not hungry, forcing myself to eat what I should be eating. And other days when I am a little hungry, kind of, stopping when those numbers are done. So it worked well for me. I did okay with it, not feeling deprived at all. That was kind of like a maintenance level for my macros. So workouts were fine this week. As I mentioned with my workout goals, a big part of what I want to do is feel more functional. 30s are a lot different than your 20s, you guys, and I'm not feeling as functional as I once did. So it's kind of an interesting goal because at the same time I want to feel functional, I also want to be focusing on compound lifts. So I want to be doing squats, deadlifts, and bench press weekly because those were things I wasn't focusing on probably the past like 6 months or even a year, I would say. I really wasn't focusing on those lifts. So while I want to incorporate those lifts, I'm also not having an ego with it. So you're going to see me squatting. I'm not going to be working to go super, super heavy. I'm more focusing on having really good quality reps, quality form. And if that means going higher up, that's fine. Like I'm not super focused on gaining muscle right now. I'm more focused on taking the next 12 weeks to kind of do a little bit of a cut basically and lose a few pounds. And I've said this before, if you've watched my videos a lot, you might be like, Kara, you said that like 3 months ago and you're still at the same exact weight. And that is true. I am, not sitting here saying I am always 100% on my A game because I am not. But with starting this series and being more health focused, I also want to just feel more comfortable in my skin. And I'm going to be honest, like sometimes I have felt conflicted with being open about that on YouTube. Like I sometimes feel conflicted with this need to promote loving your body with where it's at. And it's funny because Jason and I were just talking about this the other day. Like he said to me, Kara, there's nothing wrong with like wanting to lose a few pounds but still love your body. Like just because you want to lose a few pounds, just because you have things you want to improve on or work on or, it doesn't mean you don't love yourself. And that couldn't be like more true. And so I think, this whole self-love thing that's out on social media, I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little bit torn about it because I feel like I do love myself. I'm happy with who I am, and it's taken me a long time to separate how I value myself as a person, separate from what I weigh or how my body looks or how lean I am and all those types of things. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out into the world because I know a couple people may comment like, oh, you don't need to lose weight or, why don't you ever not diet? And it's not really about that for me, you guys. I'm just, like I said, this is more about health for me. But at the same time, I have to have specific goals. Like, I have learned this. If I don't set myself up with some deadlines and some specific goals, I won't accomplish anything. So I've been saying this for a while, but I do feel more comfortable at a weight range of about like 115 is really a great spot for me. I remember last year in prep when I hit 115, it wasn't hard to get there. Macros didn't have to come down much. I felt good. I didn't feel restricted. It wasn't like I even felt like I was dieting, and I felt much more comfortable in my body. You know, there's a couple parts of my body I'm a little self-conscious of right now, and I would just like to feel a little bit more confident, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And so part of like my 2018 goal is not worrying so much about what other people want from me, what they want to see from me, what they expect from me, or what other people are doing in social media or on their YouTube accounts. I'm going to continue to focus more on what I want to do, regardless of what anybody else thinks. So that's the plan right now. And so with that, with weigh-ins this week, I didn't weigh in every day, but most days of the week I did. And I stayed fairly stable. Let's see, I started last week at 119.8, and I've pretty much ranged between like 119.8 to 120.8, like within that 1 pound weight range for the week. So it was very stable. The macros seemed to be like a good fit to keep me at like a consistent point. And if you've watched my full day of eating video, you'll see that I did drop them down a little bit this week just because I want to kind of keep moving forward. I'm giving myself 12 weeks to kind of put in a little more effort and be more specific and focused with my training and with my nutrition. So I kind of want to just see where I can get in 12 weeks. Nothing drastic, but I do want to keep things moving. And for me, if I'm not seeing, I don't know, I don't mind adjusting macros each week. Does it necessarily need to happen for each and every person? No. Could I go slower with it? Sure. But I'm just doing some minor cuts, minor changes. So like for this upcoming week, I've dropped my average macros down on the daily, but added in a refeed. So, you know, this is just kind of trial and error for me to see what can happen over the next 12 weeks. You know, if anything, it's not the end of the world if nothing changes on the scale for me. I think just being more consistent, my body's going to thank me for. And I've mentioned this a little bit too. I've definitely had a lot of digestive issues, which I hate even saying that because I feel like everyone and their brother is having like gut health issues. I'm not sure if it's just because we know more about gut health, but definitely had been having some problems. So part of this series too is focusing on my supplements and my nutrition to improve my gut health. I'm starting a regulator. I'm actually just starting my regulator today officially because I gave some out and gave some to Jason. So consistently I will be taking regulator, which I'm really excited to see how well I do with that. And yeah, what else for this past week? Other than that, focusing still on sleep and stress management. I did really good this past week. So I don't know what I did differently, but I felt in a really good place. And I think that could just be attributed to me being more consistent and like planned out for the week. It relieved a lot of stress and anxiety. So that's my weekly update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more updates each week, let me know. I'd be glad to do them. So please comment below and let me know if you would like to see that. See you guys in the next one.